Extreme weather has hit regions in Southeast Asia hard. In the Philippines, at least 375 people have died after Typhoon Rai tore through the country. The United Nations is kicking off a campaign to raise more than $100 million in aid for victims of Typhoon Rai. The funds will go towards more than 530,000 people in the worst affected areas. And more than 3 million people are still without power, food, or clean water. At least 500,000 will be spending Christmas and New Year's in cramped evacuation centres. These are people in dire need of access to basic items such as drinking water and sanitation facilities. Mary Joy Gonzalez, project manager at CARE Philippines, tells us more about the short and long-term recovery needs.
The massive devastation, the impact, and the coverage of the typhoon has rendered really some of our interventions still lacking. That's why we are in need of support and also post-disaster response towards early recovery and rehabilitation. We still have to push for more disaster risk reduction interventions. These are areas with high poverty levels. One of the most important interventions is the economic recovery, because these areas are composed of islands, and we have a heavily affected agriculture and fishery sector that needs support in terms of livelihood recovery. The governments from richer countries really have to take climate change seriously and how it affects poorer countries and developing countries like the Philippines, because even as much as we try to recover, as much as we try to become resilient in our own ways, we still need massive support in terms of pushing forth the agenda on climate change and the reduction of the temperature levels globally. Because as you've seen, for the past several years, we have suffered the brunt of the more stronger typhoons. And so because our locations towards the Pacific, our oceans are becoming warmer, and also this causes greater and the super typhoons into coming to our country, which we have not experienced before in the past decades.